Hi, my name is Allie Jade, and I'm here to just bring my song meaning series back to life because it's been a hot minute since I've made one of these videos. And I wasn't really happy with the last one that I made. I feel like it was too long and it was sort of boring, so I'm gonna try to keep this one shorter and sweeter. I'm here to talk about my song Carry On, Angel's song.
The person you were, the person I knew, you died many years ago, he's no longer in you.
I released that song in June of 2020. These are my little notes. I need these. I have ADD. I may have released the song in June of 2020 when I was 25 years old, but I wrote the song, actually, in summer of 2011 when I was 16. And funny enough, it was the first song of mine to ever play on the radio, which was quite exciting for me. Just fun fact. The whole reason this song exists is because I wanted to write a song for my Aunt Angel.
Never mentioned this angel's song. Yeah.
To help her move past a very troubling relationship with my uncle. My uncle is a very fucked up human being. My aunt would come over and visit in the summertime. She would come and see my mom and I. And we would all just sit out on the back porch and talk, hang out, whatever. And my mom would very, very often read her tarot cards. And while she was reading the tarot cards, I was usually sitting over in the corner just listening, strumming my guitar. And because my aunt was still very much caught up on my uncle and doing everything that she could to try and move past him, that's what her tarot card sessions would be about. My aunt met my uncle when she was probably 14 or 15 years old, and he was much older than her. So he's always been disgusting, basically. And just for context, my Aunt Angel is not blood related to me. She was just with my uncle for a handful of years. They had a kid together who is my cousin. He's a very cool human being. My uncle, however, nobody in my family claims him. He's been in prison since I was a kid. I have maybe like 2 or 3 memories of him, but they're very fuzzy because I was probably 3 years old the last time I ever saw him. That's how long he's been in prison. The things that he did to land himself in prison were pretty fucked up. I will not go into detail. It was something that he did to the girlfriend that he had after my aunt and him split up. And it's just, he's a disgusting human being. I wanted to write an anthem for my aunt to move past him. Kind of like something that she could listen to every time she felt herself slipping, you know, if you will.
I think it's time that I carry on. I think it's time that I carry on.
Because I'm like, it's one thing to hear songs on the radio and relate to them. How cool is it to have your own song that was written specifically for you to put on when you're trying to like snap yourself out of it? I wanted her to have something like that. But back to the tarot card readings, I vividly remember my aunt being so distraught over the fact that the memory of him was seemingly haunting her. She desperately wanted to move on, let go, refrain from thinking about him or feeling any sort of heavy emotion in regards to that part of her life. Easier said than done, especially when you have a kid with the person. And I remember my mom would just continuously tell her during the readings, like, it's time to move on from that guilt. You must move on to make room for new things to blossom in your life. That's what I wanted for her. I wanted her to move on so she could have room for new things because she deserved that so much. She would always just say, the person he was, he doesn't exist. How do I let go of that memory? Because she thought in her mind that he was such a great person, and you know, obviously you're young and you're naive and you don't know better, and time goes on and you see how fucked up they are from your own experience and the experience you saw the person put upon others. So she would just go on to say, how do I bury that part of him that's dead and gone? How do I accept that the man I thought I knew never actually existed? How do I accept that he is put away forever and gone?
Put yourself away, and you are there to stay.
And like I said, usually during the tarot card readings, I was sitting there next to them on the porch with my guitar. And at the time, I had a 1994 Celebrity Deluxe Ovation, and I regret getting rid of it because it was It was such a special guitar. I wrote so many songs on that thing. Like, I wrote this song on it, and I learned so many songs. Like, it was just such a good stepping stone into my life as a musician. I miss that guitar. Don't get rid of guitars like that. Listen to me. Because I traded it for a guitar with lesser value in 2016. Dumb. And then that guitar that I traded it for, my horrible ex-boyfriend put in a pawn shop, so it was a loss. But at least I got this out of it. Anyway, I'm determined to get my hands on another 1994 Celebrity Deluxe Ovation though, that one in particular. So once I decided she needed a song for herself, I remember going home later that night. Funny enough, my mom and dad lived right next door from each other at the time. My mom and dad divorced when I was 3 years old, and so my mom sort of moved around a lot. The house that my dad lives in, he's lived in my whole life. He's lived in pretty much his whole life. My grandpa built it. It's a very small house. It's very run down at this point. Bleh. So my parents lived next door from each other, and I would kind of just walk back and forth. And it was funny because it gave the illusion of what it may have been like had they actually been together, even though they very clearly weren't. So it was kind of cool in that regard, I guess. But I vividly remember going in my room, putting my iPhone down on my bed. It was my very first iPhone. It was the iPhone 4. I opened my voice memo app, which has been a lifesaver for me as a songwriter. I just started singing whatever came to my mind, and out came this song. I wanted it to be angry, I wanted it to be fast and just straight to the point. And the next day after I wrote it, I very excitedly told her, I wrote a song for you. It's like a little anthem for you to move past this. And she absolutely loved the song. So I took the recording that I did and I burned it onto a CD and I gave it to her, and she listened to it like every day. Actually, this is the very first copy, one of them, that I burnt on the CD when I was 16 years old. Still here, from 2011. Want to actually pop it in here, and I'm gonna play you a little clip of the original demo. So funny, because when I was 16, I felt so grown up for my age. Yes, a lot of that had to do with my childhood. I had to grow up fast. I felt so grown, you know? And I listen back on this now and my voice sounds so little. It's so funny. So check it out with me. I want you to hear it. I want you to see my reaction. I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole thing for you. I might edit it into like a little part.
The person you were, the person I knew, you died many years ago, he's no longer in you. Next time I carry on, next time I carry on, it's been way too long. Next time I carry on.
See how little my voice is? It's like, oh, my heart. Just a child. You don't realize that when you're that age, you really are just a child still. You're just like an older child.
Kept me up all night, thinking inside that I was black and blue. You put yourself away, and you are there to stay.
We'll get into the part where I scream here soon. You know, as a teenager, so I listened to a lot of grunge. Here it is.
Setting fire in my head to all things that I dread. Throwing stones at the nightmares I have with you ever be.
So that's just, you know, I'm actually really, ooh, hang on. So I'm actually quite lucky that I even still have that recording, because I've moved a lot over the years and I've done a pretty good job of taking care of my stuff and not letting shit get lost. So it wasn't until I was 25 that I actually recorded that song and released it, as I mentioned earlier. When I recorded it in the studio, and I did my studio version of it at home, because I record all of my music at home by myself. I don't like go and pay anybody. It was mostly just filling in the blanks once I actually recorded the song. So there was very little that I wrote while recording the song, like everything had already been written on this disc. So there you have it. That's mostly the meaning behind Carry On Angel's song, is about my Aunt Angel moving on from a very horrible human being who happens to be my uncle, he who shalt not be named. And the cover photo. Before I go, let's talk about the cover photo because I took that photo. It's my hand. That's a shadow of my hand. I think it was the sunrise. It wasn't a sunset. So it was the sun coming in through the window in the morning. It was with my, oh my God, very first boyfriend. I woke up and the sun was shining through the window and it was very beautiful. I had an eye. I was always taking photos of things back then. So I put my hand out, did the little shadow thingy and snapped the picture. But when I went to release this song, I was like, what can I use for an album cover? Like, what's gonna work for that? I was a little bit too insecure about myself at the time to use this. So I was like, I'll just use one of my old photographs. I'll look through my photographs and see what I can find. And that's what I did. That kind of fits the vibe of the song. I feel like if I were to give a color to that song, it would definitely be an amber, yellowish, dark reddish, sunrise-ish red tone. I don't fucking know. It definitely matches the vibe of the song, so I'm not unhappy with it at all. But it did happen to become one of my most popular songs. It plays all around the world, regardless of where you're listening to it at. If you're one of those people who is supporting me, I appreciate you. And if you like this song, I'm tickled pink. I really am fucking tickled. Because I wrote it when I was just a kid, recorded it like 6 years ago or so, and it's just a special little track. It has a special place in my heart because it's like a little vision I didn't give up on. And there's such a story behind it now. And it's fun to sit here and to actually be able to share these stories now. Because so many years have gone by. So fast. It's just unbelievable. And I can't keep up with this world these days and everything that's changing. Like, it just feels like a completely different fucking world now than when I wrote this song. So I think that's kind of why it's special to me too, because that was like the tail end of the world not being completely taken over by technology. We had technology, but it wasn't so bad. And now it's really fucking bad. And now we have people using AI to make songs, and it's like, what? But anyway, I will never do that. I will keep real art alive forever as long as I'm here. I do want to give a shout out to my Aunt Angel. I've been finally getting out and paying gigs as Allie Jade, and I started getting back out there again last year. It was almost a year ago. It was last summer. And I played at a place called BMO's in Bay City. She showed up to the gig, and it was my first gig that I had my name on a marquee, kind of advertising that I was playing that night. So it was quite a special moment for me. I had been imagining that moment for a very long time, and I just want to keep making it happen in bigger and bigger ways. He was there for that. So it was quite special. She's the reason this song exists. She's the reason this video exists now. So shout out to my Aunt Angel. She's a very strong, fierce, fun woman, and I love any chance I get to spend time with her. If you didn't know, I'm recording a new album right now. It's pretty much done. I've spent the past little bit over a year of my life recording this album. It's called Town Dwellers. I've teased it on here a lot the past year, so there are numerous clips of each song I've been working on. And it's really quite a special project because I'm going to release a song off of the album as a single first. And we're filming the music video for that in about 2 weeks. There's a very talented videographer that I met working in news who is going to help me film it. I've kind of just given him my ideas and concepts for the video, and he's going to help me bring it to life. I've recorded quite a few music videos for my songs in the past, but this is my first professional video. So I'm quite thrilled. I think it's going to be very good for the direction that I'm heading in, and I'm just playing as many shows as I can in as many places as I can as I get ready to release this next line of work. I'm gonna try to keep on continuing reviving this YouTube channel and uploading things like this to get to know my audience and for me to also get to know you, because that's important to me. I want to connect with people and share my music, and hopefully it resonates with you and helps you in some way. Town Dwellers, my new album, out in May. But first, No Vacancy, the single and music video.